Hello, everyone. My name is Rafael Ralph Duarte. This is MP 520 with Dr. Teleria. And the crisis that I will be covering is an earthquake, specifically an earthquake in California involving the San Andreas Fault. So let's get the presentation started. As I mentioned, the earthquake specifically will be in the region of the Coachella Valley. And the Coachella Valley has an approximate population of 463,000 residents. That's according to the Coachella Valley Association of Governments. And this is going to cover a timeline of a 3 month period. And all the cities within that area, approximately 9 cities, will be impacted. And what will be impacted are roadways, communication, electricity, fuel, access to food, and potentially access to shelters. So I will be covering uh, the 3 hour mark, and I'll be going in sequences of chapters according to the uh, to the text leadership and public organization with by Montgomery Van Wart. And the first chapter covered here, one of the concepts was the great man leadership concept, which indicates that leaders are born, and how I incorporated this into the 3 hour mark is we might have to have a leader, a lot of leaders, in fact, due to this crisis situation, in which they're using no formal type of training of leadership, but just this innate will to want to help other people. Although we've learned that the great man concept has been disproven, and the fact that leaders can be molded, leaders can be trained, and many times leaders achieve their leadership positions through experience. And the second leadership style that I'll be covering as per chapter 2 of the Van Wert text is the directive style of leadership. And this type of leadership will be someone that's directing people in this chaotic situation and trying to organize them and lead them and almost instruct them in an autocratic style of leadership. We remember Luther Gulick's Podscore philosophy, in which the executive, in this case, the directive leader, would be following these concepts of a leadership style. And some of the articles that I pulled in reference to the great man leadership theory was the one mentioned here by Colton, and also the other that reflects directive style leadership was here under Corin Post. And again, on the article of the great man theory, it essentially just reiterates what I said before, and that is that the argument of leaders being born no longer exists. Really, the article insists that if people have a desire to learn to become leaders, then then there's formal training involved to help support this. Is a summation of the journal article, and the journal article for the directive leadership is leadership style is looked at within the emergency arena, and it states that directive style leadership is very effective in being able to address emergency situations. It's very effective in situations in which directive leaders are familiar with the crises that they're experiencing. It's very effective in producing speedy decisions, especially under emergency crisis situations, is summation of this article. So moving on to the 3 day mark, and this is situational leadership. This is Hersey and Blanchard's concept regarding directing, coaching, supporting, and delegating, and the height of this is essentially the followers, right? The followers and their willingness to learn and the maturity level that they're at the moment. And I put this at the 3 day mark because uh, we're going to have to be able to instruct a lot of people that have never been in emergency situations. So they're going to need a lot of direction, um, and they're gonna have to have a lot of formal training in a very quick period of time, utilizing county, local, and statewide services. And then they're going to go through this model of coaching, supporting, and delegating. And this will be throughout leaders throughout the crisis situation. And I use the transformational leadership side at the 3 day mark because essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to empower people. We want to influence them. And we have to be able to mobilize resources and community members in regards to the earthquake crisis situation. And transformational has been proven to meet all of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and that is to empower people to create change and to be active participants in the crisis situation. And here are some of the articles that I found in regards to situational leadership. And again, this was a study that looked at teachers' performance, and what they were looking for is how if teachers can incorporate certain learning styles in regards to directing, coaching, supporting, and delegating their students, then the study shows that students actually perform better in the classroom through this style of leadership. The second article, which is here in regards to transformational leadership, uh, essentially says that transformational leadership under emergency management systems are effective, and they're key into identifying and mobilizing people, and it's ideal for emergency management because it's critical and leading immediate change and mobilizing individuals. So moving on to the 3 week mark in regards to the crisis, the earthquake specifically, I felt that it was important to mention network leadership, which is found in chapter 5 of the Van Wert text. And that is that we have to be able to collaborate with local, state, and federal agencies in regards to an earthquake situation. And we have to be able to mobilize all resources because everyone here has a mutual interest, and that is to address the basic needs of people, and that is to get them water, food, shelter. Um, and this is a win-win approach for the entire network of all these levels of government that are involved. And the other that I found here, which is the ethical leader as authentic, covered in chapter 6 of Van Wart, and that is that authentic leaderships, they emphasize internal perspectives. Authentic leaders are very self-aware and self-regulating. Uh, they take care of themselves. They understand themselves, um, and they want to take care of other people's emotional health, which is very important in the crisis situation. Is Especially at 3 week mark, we're going to cleanups and rebuilding in this crisis mode, and people will be mentally exhausted, emotionally drained, and this type of leader is needed to make sure people are focused and people are being checked on regularly. And this is why I mentioned the ethical leader as authentic. And I found 2 articles. Of course, the first article covers uh, public network leadership and the ties that lead. And essentially, what this article is covering is characteristics of a network structure, and how instilling these automatizations in regards to networks is crucial for the autonomy of government and the automation of government. And it really explores that in regards to the networks and how they can operate more seamlessly uh, through this connectivity of automation. And the second article that I covered here, it has to do with an ethical leader as authentic, or an authentic ethical leader. And it talks about the virtues of ethics and identifying these key morals and intellectual virtues, um, which provide an ethical framework for a leader. And this is looked at within a school and a school environment, and it deepens and broadens the understanding of authentic ethical leadership and the impact that it has within that arena. And moving on to the 3 month mark, I chose here in chapter 7 and in chapter 8 of the Van Wert text was complexity theory. And I chose this in regards to the earthquake because, since, complexity states that systems change and systems are constant, and we have to be able to adapt as leaders. And same thing as an earthquake situation. Things can change. There can be aftershocks. There can be a lot of things going on within that, and we have to be able to respond rapidly, and we have to be able to respond with certain structures in place. And this is surrounds the total idea of complexity theory in regards to systems and how systems must be adaptable. And I chose chapter 8, which was competency based leadership. And this is essentially gaining an understanding of of the arena of certain competencies and what must be fulfilled in regards to leadership. And that has to be explored definitely at the 3 month mark when we're trying to get a total understanding of the leadership involved um, within the earthquake crisis. And the articles that I found that are relevant to what I was covering here um, in regards to complexity theory was the hierarchy views of leadership and the complexities involved within the modern world of this dynamic style of leadership, and understanding that there are exchanges and rules, and all these things change in regards to leadership. But uh, we have to understand that by staying committed to uh, the adaptive style and the driven processes involved, that complexity leadership is effective. And then I found the article here on competency based leadership for emerging Christian camp leaders. And essentially, this article is simply looking at of being able to learn certain styles of leadership and how to improve those functionalities within the camp involved. So I want to thank you all very much for listening to my presentation. I know it was a bit lengthy. Hopefully you hung on and you can provide some good feedback for me. Thank you, and God bless.